And especially I would like to say that I've been working for a couple of years for this festival, for 15 years, my 15th festival. And this is really, I think, one of the most amazing and emotional moments for me, because what is happening here is something we've dreamt of several years. There's always been this plan of having Alejandro Jodorowsky here with a retrospective of his work, and as one of our last guests of honor was Nicolas Winding Refn, and he told us about his friendship with Alejandro. Our great wish was to have both of them here, and now the miracle happened. We have both of them here, and we have both of them here with a film of theirs. So thank you so much. It is quite rare to have close friendships between film directors. It seems that there's also a lot of competition always between people of these professions. Could you explain us how your professional and personal friendship happened? How is your story?
Mira, yo durante 23 años no filmé.
During 23 years I didn't make any film.
Y sufrí mucho.
And I suffered a lot.
Y cada día veía una película o dos.
And every day I saw at least one or two films.
Y tenía un ataque de rabia.
And I would get a rage attack.
Pues veía cómo el cine se iba pervirtiendo.
¿Cómo el cine iba?
Pervirtiendo.
Because I saw how the cinema got each time more pervert.
Y cómo Hollywood iba poniendo su garra en el cine.
And how Hollywood took his hands on filmmaking.
De menos en menos arte.
Less and less art.
Y más a más estupidez técnica.
And even more technical stupidity.
Sufrí mucho.
I suffered a lot.
Y un día vi una película que el título se llamaba Bronson.
And one day I saw a film, the title was Bronson.
Y con mucha rabia empecé a verla.
And I started to see it with a lot of anger.
Y fui poco a poco llegando al éxtasis.
And it came to an ecstasy. I came to an ecstasy.
Por fin veía a alguien que trataba al cine como verdadero cine.
Because I saw somebody who treated filmmaking, cinema, like real cinema.
No como un fabricante de zapatos o de salchichas.
Not like a fabricant of shoes or sausage.
No como un degenerado.
Not like a degenerated.
Like Spielberg. Yo digo que Spielberg es el hijo de Walt Disney que se cogió a Minnie Mouse.
I said Spielberg is Spielberg. Pardon.
Spielberg que
Spielberg is a son of Walt Disney, and he fucks Mickey Mouse.
Well, and then I see for 23 years to waiting a movie maker I can admire.
And then after 23 years without filmmaking, I suddenly see a filmmaker I can really admire.
I was very fascinating for his last picture, Only God Forgive. I think it's a fantastic, a genial picture. It's a marvelous tragedy, really art of movies. And then I am happy to be with him.
Nicolas, when did you actually first met? When did you first go to Paris and see Alejandro?
Well, I of course am a product of cinema, and in the days of VHS, as one of the big quests, like the holy grail of tracking down obscure cinema, which was the only way we could get access to see films that weren't just screened in cinemas. VHS was the only way. Could anybody get a hold of a copy of El Topo? Because it was considered the most impossible movie to get. And I started making films myself later on in my life. And some years ago, I was asked to be part of a festival in France, and I was about to. I'd gone to Hollywood to make Drive, and we were in pre-production and just about to shoot. And this festival called and asked if I would choose 5 films, and I was not really, because I didn't have time to go to Paris. But then they said, well, the other person is going to be Alejandro. And I said, of course I will do it. Do you think there's any way for me to meet him? Possibly. And they were like, sure, you know, I'm sure we can set up something. And when they announced that he had chosen a film of mine, I was, of course, you know, it was almost surreal. And I told production, we got to push the movie. I have to go to Paris and have dinner with Jodorowsky. So I've never had anybody, in the sense that where we could talk about filmmaking or art from a generations between us. You know, Alejandro had made films before I was even born. But they were the kind of films I ended up wanting to make in the future. And after that, we've been, you know, in contact. It usually consists of me coming to Paris. We have dinner. He slaps some sense into me, tells me when I'm right or wrong. You know, whenever I get wooed or I make bad decisions, you know, I talk to him about it, because filmmaking is, no matter what, an artistic expression, and so few people stay true to that for such a long time, you know. Last time I said I was going to make a big Hollywood sci-fi movie, Alejandro said, then I won't like you anymore. So I knew that was right, that I shouldn't have made it. But I was wooed by Hollywood in 10 seconds. And so after that, we've always, you know, it's almost a ritual for me to come and talk with him about my life and the films I want to make, because in the end, I just one day would like to make, you know, a Jodorowsky film, and hopefully I'll get that before I die.
El Incal, I did with a genius who died, with Moebius. He's a great genius of the drawing. I worked with him very well. Estaba en trance.
I was in trance.
Y en 4 días le dictaba cada libro.
And in 4 days, I dictated
every one of the books. There are 6 books.
6, okay.
Son 6 libros. Y 4 días.
And 4 days.
Dictaba cada libro.
It took me 4 days to dictate each the book.
Pero es muy compleja. Si me permites una cosa más y explico.
But it's very complex. If you allow me, I explain you a little bit more.
En esta realidad,
in this reality,
todo no es nada simple.
Nothing is simple.
La línea recta es una invención del ser humano.
The right line is the
invention of the human being.
An invention of the human being. Thank you.
¿Sí? Entonces, cada línea recta, cada línea recta,
that means every line,
esconde un laberinto.
Hides a labyrinth.
La vida es muy rica.
Life is very rich.
Entonces, las historias no son una línea recta.
But stories are not a right line.
Parecen una línea recta.
They appear to be, but
pero son una cosa muy rica, un laberinto.
But they are very rich and they are a labyrinth.
A muchos niveles.
On various levels.
Eso es lo que veo en su última película.
And that's what I see in his last film.
Que semble lineal.
It seems to be linear.
Y poco a poco en el cerebro se va construyendo.
Slowly in your mind.
Va construyendo un laberinto trágico.
A tragic labyrinth is created in your head.
Entonces, en el Incal hice una historia con múltiples interpretaciones.
And in the Incal, I made a film with multiple interpretations.
Como en la danza de la realidad.
Like La danza de la realidad.
Parece una línea.
It seems to be a line.
Pero es una película película que habla de problemas familiares,
But it is something that talks about family
Políticos.
problems, politics,
místicos,
mistakes,
sociales,
socialists,
muchas cosas.
many things.
Entonces, la única persona que creo que puede hacer el INCAL con profundidad
So I think the only person who can do INCAL with profundity
y no hacer una imbecilidad como las de Spielberg,
and it doesn't make a nonsense like Spielberg.
imbecilidad.
Something stupid, let's say,
Es él.
is him.
When did you become aware of the mythology of Dune, of the version never made? And maybe you would like to tell us, even if it's in the film, about the moment you could catch a glimpse at that wonderful piece of art that is actually the storyboard for the film.
Well, one of the, of course, when you would, Alejandro, there's so many things you would like to know. And of course, I'm very interested in all the ambitions of what he had and his ideas of making Dune, which in a way is the construction is more interesting than the result. And so I knew everything about the process from Alejandro, and some time ago when my wife and I were in Paris and we had dinner with Pascal and Alejandro, he asked me if I wanted to see Dune, and I was sure, but I thought you never made it. And he says, but I did. And he showed me the original book, which was basically every single image drawn out with dialogue. And so we sat there for a long time, and he would basically tell me and show me the film. And when I left with my wife, I said to her, we are the only people in the world that actually saw Dune. And we did it at his house. So for me, that was like, in a way, the ultimate seal of, well, we have to do something together, because all the inspiration that I got from hearing and seeing and being part of that experience of seeing Dune at midnight, Alejandro's house was the perfect scenario. And all I can say is that everything that has been made ever since of science fiction leads back to that unmade film, which is very unique in a sense that it shows that it's not about the result, it's about the process.
You hadn't filmed a film in 23 years.
Yes.
What made you change your mind?
Babish.
Really?
Yes, because, no, it's true. Life is magic. Magic is everywhere in life. When we didn't make Dune, we was working, I don't know how many times. I cost $2 million, make this book, make everything. And then we didn't do it, and the producer was Michel Seydoux, a very rich producer, French. And then I say to me, bueno, we didn't make the picture. They say it's because they are afraid of me, tenían miedo de mí. Entonces, Michel Seydoux debe odiarme.
And I thought he's afraid of me, and Michel Seydoux must hate me.
And then for 20 years, I didn't want to see him.
And for more than 20 years, sorry, por más de 20 años no quería verlo.
Porque he hates me. He's a failure enormous. And Pavish say, do you want to make an interview with him? I say, how? He hate me. No, he admires you a lot. His life is his best moment of his life, he said. Come to. And then I said, okay, I will speak with him. And then I came here, there, I was in Paris, near el cementerio.
Graveyard.
Sí, near the graveyard. A graveyard here, it was very cold. And he came, and he was so gentle. And we was friends. And with him, like me, suffer because he didn't make the picture. And we say together, well, if we didn't do that, we'll make another picture. Okay, and we made it.
You actually, in the process of making Only God Forgives, be it the preparation or be it the cut, did you fly to Paris to actually show footage to Alejandro Jodorowsky?
Not visually, but the first time I went there. The first title reading he ever gave me was about, I asked him, will Drive be successful? Is this something I should do? And he said to me after, well, the movie will travel. I thought, okay. It traveled, all right, okay, that I can go with. And then I asked him later on if I should do Only God Forgives after. And he said, you have to. There's no other way around it. Because, of course, I was going to go against all the expectations of Drive in making Only God Forgives. And when the film was over and we were in the editing process, I was in Paris again, and I asked him, will it be successful? And he said, only if you don't think about it. That if you spend too much time, then it won't. But if you let it go and let it be what it is, then you will be successful. And
lo que está pasando aquí
What is happening here now
es alguien que se busca
is somebody who looks for,
con honestidad
with honesty,
y entra en el peligro de la industria
and enters, who searches with honesty and enters in the risk of industry.
y es capaz de desafiar un éxito público
And he is capable of challenging public success
y llegar con otra película
and arrive with another film
que no tendrá el mismo público.
which is not supposed to have the same audience.
Ya. Pero la verdad es
But the truth is,
que aquí estamos luchando
we are struggling
contra la destrucción del planeta.
against the destruction of the planet.
Esa es la verdad.
That is the truth.
Porque la industria
Because industry
está pervirtiendo al ser humano.
perverts the human being.
Y cada público pervertido
And each pervert audience
es una persona que consume
is a person who consumes
y que destruye el planeta.
and who destroys the planet.
Esta lucha que estamos haciendo
The struggle we are doing, both of us,
es vital
is vital
porque estamos creando un público,
because we are creating an audience
una audiencia que empieza a curarse,
that is going to be healed.
que comienza a sentir el arte, a pensar cuando ve una película.
And is starting to feel the art and start to think when it sees a film.
Ve a ver ahí Iron Man 3, Superman, esas huevadas.
Just see all this fucking shit like Superman 3.
Son publicidad,
That is, these are commercials.
espectáculo idiota, técnico.
It's this idiot spectacle, technical spectacles.
Bueno, entonces estamos en Cannes,
But we are in Cannes,
el gran festival de Cannes,
in a great festival of Cannes,
con una alfombra roja más grande que esta.
with a red carpet huger than this one.
Las fotos. Y un público de de pingüinos.
a penguin audience,
Y él sale con su película.
and he arrives with his film,
Ellos tienen que mirar
and they have to have a look like this
y comenzar a ver, a pensar.
and start to think.
Then, and step by step, you will discover the immense, enormous tragedy with this picture. Have the strength, la fuerza de una tragedia griega.
He has the strength of and force of a Greek tragedy.